Good evening, Earth School travelers. I have another one for you today. And like I said, I'm not going to break them down anymore. I'm just going to take my notes, make sentences or whatever I do, and then let you guys decide. Because I just think that maybe there's a little piece for everybody. It's kind of like with the tarot readers. They'll say take what resonates, and that's what I'm saying about when I'm doing these codes. Sorry. Take what resonates. Some may resonate for some people, some may not. It is what it is. Anyway, let's hit some bowls and get class in session. Earth School is now in session. Okay. I gotta get this thing. Does that work? I don't know. It is what it is. All right, Earth travelers. We're going to call this essay Divinely Made Whole. Yeah, we are. Yeah. All right. So, take what resonates and leave the rest. All right. Are we ready? Come a little bit closer. Let's get intimate. Just kidding. Okay. Indefinite article contains the same word, derivatives, atonement at 1. Hidden indications serve as contrast in opposition to other things closely united in the formation, serving as a whole, undivided, no single of its kind. Occurrences explained through compounded words, obvious within its own meaning. All one just the same. One day, a certain particular day, an indefinite time, both past and future, ignorance of consequence, simpleton units of, open vessels representing, not as particular individuals, rather the sense of plural. One in union, on concord, in silent agreement through past and past present, soul chord agreements. Divine singularity, on the contrary, empowers a solo individual capabilities of being their own spokesperson, yet still retrieving divine insight from the universal one conscious mind. As one another or each to the other. State of oneness replaces singleness. Unity as oneself. Shifting from self to becoming, in this case, is not of the physical nature. Rather, it's a solo adventure. Scales of equality begin to balance, for the horse and rider do not question their oneness, nor compare themselves to one another or any others on any specified occasions. They're a team. There's no comparison. What one doesn't bring to the table, the other one does. That's why competition is pointless, and the only competition you should ever have is with yourself. Kind of like doing the quarter mile at the racetrack. In case people don't know what racing is, you see two cars at the quarter mile, you think they're racing each other. No. The driver puts their estimated time on their window, usually with shoe polish, and they're actually competing themselves. And that is the only competition you should actually have is with yourself, because that's progression. But competing with others is regression. Anyway, because we're all uniquely different. We all have stuff to bring to the table. But if you're competing and copying other people, well, then you're being not only disservicing yourself, but you're disservicing the people around you, because you're robbing all of us of the hidden gems you have within that you're supposed to bring to the table, rather than mimicking other people who are actually bringing shit to the table, you know? Yeah, you know. Anyway. Okay. For one thing, for one reason, one and the same, exactly the same, one or two or a few. It's a good riddle, hey? Taking one thing with another, the one and only universal balance. All in agreement, responsible, true dedication, above all others, oneness within oneself. He and the other unified through divine duty. Omitting all matters of indifference, certain persons specified by kind, spirits on missions, occupying vessels of all walks of life. Yeah. The joker, the teaser, all in one yet never in divine oneness, all jokes made to be weapons at the expense of other fellow tribal members, otherwise face automatic discharge. True tribal exhalation. The unity of oneness ends the earth traveler's experience and all that is when solitude of singularity begins. The river of oneness and beauty beholds no sirens of destruction, letting you down one after the other. Do not confuse oneself with the river of deceit, for the river of oneness, which is governed by the triple goddess energy of love and beauty, the great sea of beauty and fertility, the vast mass of divine creation, one by one is succession as one and all. Everyone without exception, one by one, all the time. Lowest of cardinal numbers denotes unity, representing itself as a single unit, without the need to compare with others. Simply put, a domino marked with a single spot, yet at one in agreement to each of several. Reciprocally, all appreciating and in admiration for contributions of authenticity, rare talents balanced with mutual respect, while honoring singularity in the plural. Yeah. In togetherness, ready to be of service, obliging, belonging, pertaining equally to more than one or to many indifferently. Belonging to all, general, universal. Public. Of frequent and unusual, yet usual, occurrences. Not extraordinary, rather frequent. Usual, ordinary, habitual, yet not distinguished by rank or character, nor of superior excellence. Rather of low and mean in rank, the typical empty vessel, non-playable character, always in the way, filled with lackluster and false dreams. Same old boring schemes. Masculine, feminine, and all those, the names of objects possessing attributes denoted by divine living waters. Divine living waters, rivers bound by common laws, rewritten laws receiving binding forces. Immemorial usage, universal reception in distinction as common measures. Universal love is the liturgy, public form of prayer prescribed. A common seal, a symbol, unity and cooperation for the betterment of universal wholeness of all is one and one is all. Yeah. Common sense portrayed as sound, practical judgment, simplicity and understanding. Common time, musical time, rhythm with two, 4 or 8 beats to a bar. In common equally with another and others not appropriated to a single individual, rather belonging to a number in all other senses. Common people, the untitled, the vulgar, lower house vessels, in the midst of rising and becoming. Food provided at a common table, surrounded by common people, sharing common food, and fair in general. Common knowledge. Ordinary, usual, of frequent occurrence. A common weed, second rate and inferior. Historically common pasture with a historically common pasture with a specific right to fish. Common of martyrs is in common owned, shared by all having little in common, besides common, especially remarkable. Regarded as having oneness for the main attribute, the least whole. Any known determinant quality by constant repetition. Where quality of the same kind is measured. A self-contained portion of force, compromising. A fixed quantity adopted as a standard for other qualities of the same kind is a distinguishable element of a larger whole. The family, the basic unit of society, the element which divides every other of a set of elements. Subdivision, regiment, battalion, a spiritual etheric army. Strength laid down by regulations, etheric elements, furniture manufactured to be filled with others complementary to form an ensemble. From root seen in simple, individual, apart, alone, having no companion, no assistant, unmarried, single life performed by one. By one what? Pardon me. By one person. Single combat performed by one person opposed to another. Honest, unbiased. Sincere, single blessedness. Celibacy, single entry. Inner temple system of bookkeeping. Each entry appearing only once on one side or another. Divinely selected individually from among the number, seeked out separately from others, oneness, sincerity. Freedom from duplicity, an alternating current of one phase. A single spectator remains before taken into divine, sacred isolation. Every single person present, the most important single influence behaving as though not doubtable, bearing such flowers valid for a journey in one direction. A hit by which the batter gets no further than first base. A one-way ticket. Without is to thin out seedlings, choosing one from many for special treatment. Gifted mystical qualities. Acting in one direction, not reciprocating, rather a firearm whose hammer must be cocked by hand before the weapon can be fixed. Having a barrel in experimental situational conditions in which only the one conducting the experiment understands the objectives. A line of personas, animals arranged, moving one behind the other, done without assistance. With one hand only. The great single-handed sword, devoted without reservation, and marked by the results from such devotions. Giving individual effort to a single purpose without guile, yet utterly honest, with a circuit having an alternating current. Two conductors differ in phase a full 180 degrees. A one screw propeller, two screws fencing with single sticks, a simple wiffle tree. Monotonous chanting tone of voice marked by monotonous rising and falling of tone, singing in a sing-song way, uttering in a sing-song, donating a one-person act. Very remarkable is singular beauty engulfed in eccentric singularity behavior. Extraordinary is a singular earth traveler voyage experience. Word form in expression of only one in a state of quality, very distinctive, unusual, peculiar characteristics. Subsisting as one indivisible entity, subsisting as one indivisible entity, distinction pertaining to only one of its kind, the signature quality of individuality in. Divine exploration of self-interest, void and cleared of systems of conditioning, characterized as individualism. Characters as oneness is the sum of characteristics and peculiar traits known as walking authentically with no apologies and, quite frankly, zero give a fucks. Yeah. Be distinctive. Be strikingly different from others. Distinguish yourself from the class. Distinguish yourself from being part of a group. Be the assertion of individual characteristics in contrast with the conformity of one's peers. An advocate of individualism. Philosophical, both social and ethical. Not diversified, nor divided, nor unbroken, rather divinely made whole. Yay! All right, how'd you guys like that one? Yeah. Okay, so that one was divinely made whole. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, I just feel like I'm divinely made whole. And it's kind of the cool part of my experience right now is knowing I don't need anybody to complete me because I'm complete within myself. I have balanced out my inner masculine and feminine, which is your true divine twin flame, if you want the truth. And which is nice because it's part of becoming. And that's where when you do align with someone on your frequency, that relationship can be wholesome, because if you're whole within yourself, then whomever you're aligning with is also whole within themselves. So you're not looking for someone to complete you or fill a void because you've already done all that inner work, but rather you're aligning with someone that just you complement each other, but you don't complete each other. And that's the big secret. So that's what's really nice about being divinely whole. Yeah. There's a difference between being. There's a difference. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely, right? But when I was in a relationship with Jake's dad, I wasn't alone, but I was so lonely. It's up here, right? All right, let's ring them bells. Ring them bells. And our school class for today. That was a fun one. I'm not sure what I'm bringing to the table tomorrow. I had fun writing that. It was pretty. I don't know. It's pretty simple. Yeah. Anyway, I love you guys all. Let's just ring some bells here and, you know, dismiss the class for today. Our school lesson done for today. All right. Sending out a whole bunch of love and light, especially to my haters, because you know I secretly love you. Anyway, I'm sure I'll be back tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow I have plans. I'll try and come back, but I do have a busy schedule tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Okay, I love you. Bye. Mwah. Yeah. Dismissed. That's right. Bye.